Okay, let's bring on Jum An, Valentin Chun, the CEO of Andros Asia, Le Thien Hanh, head pastry chef of the Monkey Gallery, Dining and Dessert Bar, one of my favorite restaurants in town. And then, well, I'm already here, the moderator, me, Calvin Bowie. Hello. Hey. Okay, high five. All right. You know what? Before we go any further, my mom's never going to believe that I am moderating this amazing thing. So let's do a selfie. Everybody get up. Everybody get up. I mean, everybody. Let's get up. Let's do a selfie because that's what the kids do these days. I need everybody to kind of move on in. Guys, come on. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Ready? A count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go.
I will tag each and every one of you on Instagram. I promise you that. All right, good. See how much fun this is? Again, any questions that you guys have in mind for this panel? Let's get interactive. This is how we learn, right? Everybody got their spots? Great. Who wants to start? Han, I'm a big fan of yours. I am your biggest fan only because of what you've been able to create at the Monkey Gallery. Say thank you.
Right. Thank you for
You're
your
welcome.
really nice remark, Mr. Calvin.
Oh.
I'm actually a really low-key person, so it's really nice to hear.
Really?
It's nice from
Okay.
Yeah.
I got some questions for you because I'm sure everybody has a question. The dessert industry here in Vietnam. I think when we think of dessert, we think of chè, think of flan, we think of even chai cay, just fruits cut on a plate. But you do it in a completely different facet. You take technique, you take ingredients, and you make something whimsical, something dreamy over the Monkey Gallery. Question is this: where do you see the industry going to over the next, say, 5 years?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hanh. I'm a head pastry chef from the Monkey Gallery. So to answer your question, honestly, I don't know where the future for pastry and dessert will be right in Vietnam in the next 5 years, but I believe it will be totally different. Yeah, the way that all the chefs are putting their products on the shelf, it's gonna show a lot of their personality. Yeah, instead of you just do what you know, what you learn from your master or something. It's gonna show a lot. It's gonna speak a lot about who you are as a chef.
Let's go back a little bit. How did you learn pastry?
I had some times learning a little bit of this, a little bit of that during my university time, but my training is mostly from going to the French pastry school in Chicago, Illinois. That's where I learned my craft, mostly from French chef. We also have an MOF chef there as the person who write the programs for us. So my background is mostly French-oriented pastry, and coming to the Monkey Gallery is like a new challenge for me because I have to like really dive into the dessert, the plated dessert section, which is a little bit different from what I've learned in school. So every day has been like learning every day, doing what I'm unfamiliar with in order to bring new experience for my customers.
I think that being uncomfortable really allows us to look within, ask questions, make mistakes. Some mistakes turn into beauties.
Yeah, I think so.
Speaking of mistakes, that's how I came into this world. Jum An ơi, let me ask you a question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Jum An, let's talk a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So hi everyone. Thank you, Vicetra, for having me today. I'm Jum An. I'm the founder of Palais de Douceurs. We started this about 6 years ago. We cater fine, let's say authentic, refined French desserts.
The word authentic, I've heard that so often. What is authentic to you?
For me, authentic means that, so I love French culture. So authentic for me means that I stay true to the French culture, the French heritage, and the French long, long history of pastry and dessert making.
Okay, that's exactly what authentic means. All right, question, are you ready? Valentin, you're up next, buddy. You should be like getting ready for this. Are there traditional cooking and baking techniques that will remain widely practiced amidst technological development? So for instance, there are certain techniques in making croissants. You need a very cold room, you gotta add the butter into cubes, the butter needs to be a certain temperature. I know, because I'm a chef. But technology with machinery and AI, and it's taking over the world, one day it might be able to understand the fundamentals and the formula. Are there things with technology that will eliminate these two hands one day? And please say no, because I still love cutting my dough, flour. This is what I do when I cut dough. So the question is, will technology one day overtake these two hands?
I think in the pastry world right now, advanced technology is replacing a lot of things, but don't fret, it won't replace humans, because I think this is not a question about techniques, but rather about taste. You can do almost anything now in the kitchen with the right equipment. So take macaron, for example. You can make the dough in stand mixers, divide the dough evenly with the machine, and then bake it to perfection with the high-end convection oven. The thing is, the machine won't be able to determine the preferred taste or the preferred texture. And that's where we, as chefs, as professionals, we have to come in to modify and to quality control to make sure that the product is actually perfect.
Thank God I have a job next week. All right, Valentin, buddy.
Hello, Calvin.
Andros Asia. This is not just a local company. This is a global company.
Family company, French company. But in Vietnam, we are Vietnamese. I'm Vietnamese, so we can say that Andros Asia is Vietnamese in Vietnam.
Talk to us a little bit about Andros and how restaurants and hotels use it in a daily manner.
So, firstly, I would say that we don't consume the fruits same as in Europe or in the US. I will be happy if in Vietnam we consume Bonne Maman, our iconic brand, every morning at the breakfast. But it's not the case. I think that you prefer pho, you prefer rôti. So we need to adapt to the local habits of the consumer. And what we do at Andros Asia, Andros in Vietnam, that we do something different compared to the 44, 45 factories that we have in the world. So we decide to understand the habits of the consumer in Vietnam, and what we see that we eat Asian people, Vietnamese people, fresh foods. We drink the fruits, and more we eat now fruits through the pastry and the bakery. So what we do in Vietnam in Andros is more ingredients, solution ingredients for beverage, for pastry. For example, that we are working with, because you're asking about some case study, we are working with Highland Coffee, we are working with Coffee House, we are working with Phuc Long, all the coffee chain in Vietnam. They buy the food preparation that we do for them, and they do some drinks with that. And we do also some feeding. I hope that Chairman, because it's not the case now, that you will very soon use the product from Andros. But we do the feeding with the tropical foods for the pastry. I would say that Vietnam is the right destination for tropical foods. It is also the main reason.
Say that one more time. I don't
Yes.
think everybody heard that. That was a really great statement. One more time, baby.
Say what?
Say that comment one more time.
I say that Vietnam is the right destination for tropical foods. Thien talk about coffee. Everyone knows that Vietnam is famous for coffee, for cashew nuts, for rice. But we need to make sure that Vietnam is very well known for fruits also. Because if Andros is in Vietnam, it's for all the diversity of the tropical fruit we can find in Vietnam. And if Andros invests here, it's because we need to promote somehow the Vietnamese agriculture, the Vietnamese farmers around the world. And it's what we do also, because we don't do only product for Vietnam, we also export the product. And when you go, for example, in Starbucks in US, and we drink the more popular drinks in Starbucks, it is a dragon fruit the drinks. But you'll be happy, because finally you have Vietnam in Starbucks, and you are proud that you can find some dragon fruit from Vietnam in the Starbucks. Another example, for example, if you eat some yogurt from the famous brand Danone in Europe, but you will be happy to see that the mango is from Andros, from the farmers in Vietnam, in Hanh, in Cantre, that you can find the piece of mango inside the yogurt. Some case study, but in Vietnam also, bags or cocotte, we have Dong Hoi ici, use a product from Andros. So happy also about know that they don't only buy imported product, but also local product.
It is really important for us to remember how diverse this country really is with its landscape. You know, in certain areas of this country, we have all 4 seasons. We have these beautiful mountains and these vast open plains to grow such amazing fruit. Hanh, how do you incorporate these amazing ingredients into your everyday menu at Monkey Gallery?
Thank you for your question. I have a lot of inspiration from ingredients, especially as I'm in Vietnam. As you say, we have 4 seasons. Not in
Saigon. We have hot
not
and
in Saigon,
hotter.
of course, but still, like tropical fruits and local ingredients is like a huge inspiration. But the thing is, I have a strong foundation in French techniques and how we use ingredients, mostly Europeans or like really classical purees that we have. So coming to Vietnam is and trying to make use of all the great ingredients that we have is a little bit of a challenge, but it is also fun because you get to experience with a lot of food pairings. For example, I have used a lot of tropical fruits like soursop, tamarind, sapodillas, and each of the fruit has like, you need to really understand them. You really need to try to try a lot of tasting, pairing with it, try it, see if it works. If it doesn't, like go for another pairings that actually go well with it. So it's really just takes a lot of trial and errors in order to kind of find the right balance so that you can make the fruits shine really in the desserts.
Okay. I want to ask a question, and after this question, we'll take questions from the audience. Okay, I know you have a question ready to go, right? That's right. The palate in Vietnam, in comparison to what we have in the West. In the West, it is all about sweet. It is all about sugars. But here in the East, I find that balance is really key. Now I'll throw this up to both of you guys. Whoever wants to answer the question, please. How do we look at classic recipes from France. And then how do we modernize that? How do we make it more Vietnamese? Do we lessen the sugar content? Do we raise the acidity? What do you ladies and other chefs in the room do when it comes to desserts? Either one.
I'm not so sure that that's what I have in mind when I create something, that the key is to lessen the sugar. Rather for me, when I make a new product, I try to balance. Balance in what sense? Balance the ingredients, the taste, and also balance the texture. So there's a little bit of crunchy, there's soft, there's sweet, there's sour. I believe when there's a balance, then the customers will taste the cake and they will just think, oh, it's tasty. So there's not, how do I say it?
Say it. Speak from the heart. That's where it's really at.
That we as chefs have to intentionally balance the flavors and the textures, and hopefully the consumers will appreciate that, because we're all traveling a lot to enrich our experience. So I believe that consumers are the same. As we bounce back from COVID, all of us, we're all traveling more to discover new places, new food. And because of that, I don't think that the Vietnamese perception of dessert is confined to chè or to tropical fruits or to things that are not so sweet. I think we're ready to welcome new things in our repertoire.
Yes, we are. We are ready. Okay, great. Let's stand up and take a quick bow. Thank you, everybody.
Can you bring a drinks for us?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Everyone.